Hello everyone, my name is Daniela Barrios and today with my groupmates we are going to present to you about gender equality in education. First, we are going to take a look at some definitions. There are three different ways in which gender equality can be understood in relation to education. First, we have that gender equality interprets gender as if it was an attribute of a person, like having short hair or blue eyes. It assumes that if an equal number of boys and girls are receiving an education, nothing further needs to be done to change schooling for girls or boys. The second is that gender equality can also be understood in terms of the ways in which gender shapes the structure of social relations, language, and history between groups. In this analysis, equality is struggled over through social practices in relation to specific identities and locations, which include education sites. In the third analysis, gender indicates something about the characteristics of a person, while acknowledging that this can change and imply freedom and action, as well as restrictions of constructed social relations. This means that it recognizes the power of social global relations and the crossings of gender, race, and class across nations, but it suggests that these might be challenged and shifted. It emphasizes changing gender roles and changing the level or type of education people may need in a changing global relationship.
Well, now we have the causes. The first one is religion. That is basically that due to religion belief, in many countries, women are not given the opportunity to access education, since in many of them, the female figure is seen as submissive, the weaker one, a domestic worker, and nurturer of the children, and nothing else. Then we got culture. With regards to culture, we see similar cases as the reason why women cannot access education as in religion. The Christian religion being one of the main influence on educational inequalities between women and men, as well as the culture of machismo or the patriarchy that is present in many societies, where the woman is seen as a figure of pleasure as or a housewife by obligation, not by option, and an incubator. And finally, we got non-democratic societies that, following Tommaso in 2009, these ones are mostly ruled by men, and they reinforce the idea that women are naturally physically weaker than men, therefore they are victims of domination, which includes the overt discrimination against girls in schooling. Also, there's the problem which, in cases, for example, of radical Islam, the education of girls may be punished by death for the girls and for the teachers who want to teach them.
Nowadays, literacy rates have grown worldwide. However, there are many developing countries like India and Zambia where women have fewer educational opportunities given the discrimination within their communities. In these countries, poverty and cultural practices are the main reasons of scholarly deception in girls under 16 years old, most of the time, alongside the endemic violence that they are exposed every day to and the sanitary state in schools. Studies reveal that a significant number of girls drop out from school once they reach their puberty because of the lack of infrastructure in the bathrooms, which are not adequate to them and their necessities, or simply are mixed bathrooms with boys and little privacy to them. The UN and the UNICEF, which are the primary humanitarian organizations worldwide, are working currently to close the breach in education and the equal access to it, with several transformational and educational programs, and this is one of the sustainable goals planned by these ONGs to be reached into a close future. But in reality, it hasn't changed at an adequate rhythm in order to make a real and important change in women's life worldwide through time.
This situation is improving in a small but sure steps. There are two things for such progress: government strategies to increase women's access to education and societal acceptance of educated women. For example, at first, many people in Ukraine felt that this kind of policy threatened traditional values and the role of women in society, but as the quote says, more people are aware now that gender equality has the potential to bring new perspective, and the government has begun to become aware of the importance of gender equality in education and its contribution to the growth of the country, and started to implement programs to attack this problem. We also have the example of KGBV program in India, which has remained until now and has helped girls from vulnerable populations to have access to education, self-confidence, among other things, which has contributed to decrease in school dropouts. Another example of this is the United Arab Emirates. The government has strategies to increase the access to education for women and has had good results, and also has increased the social acceptance of educated women, which has increased level of schooling. Even so, there are still many things to improve, such as job opportunities, but little by little, the situation are changing.
As we saw before, gender equality is a major concern. In order to reduce the gap between genders, action needs to be taken. Each person can affect the situation positively. Education is a key tool to fight for gender equality. That's why organizations such as the UNESCO, the objectives for Sustainable Development Goals included education and gender in two of their main goals. The goal number 4 is to ensure inclusive and equitable quality education and promote lifelong learning opportunities for all. And the goal number 5 is to achieve gender equality and empower all women and girls. In order to make this possible, a few issues need to be covered, such as entities of education. They play an important role in building equality, making sure that an equal number of different genders are attending to school rather than prioritizing one gender. Also, because of COVID-19, education has been affected negatively. A lot of kids do not go to school because of the schools closing up, not having the tools to access virtual classes, and so on. Just as we mentioned before, education is indispensable to change the injustice between genders. Therefore, the government providing what is needed for these kids to attend classes is a must. Uh, Another factor is unintended pregnancy. That's another reason why women start attending school. There we have the importance of sexual education at a school. And lastly, on an individual level, there are a few things we can do to bring equality, such as share household chores and childcare equality, fight for diversity, not only at work but at college and everywhere we are. And finally, to report sexual harassment, racism, and domestic violence wherever we see it.
Also, some initiative we have to also talk about is that we have to talk to women and girls. A fundamental reason we have not yet achieved gender equality in every realm is that women and girls' voices are too often excluded from global and national decision making. Also, we have to make education gender sensitive. There has been much progress in increasing access to education, but progress has been slow in improving the gender sensitivity of the education system, including ensuring textbooks and promoting positive stereotypes. Stop the violence and The UN has found that globally, one of three women will experience violence in her lifetime, with most violence against women perpetrated by a current or a former intimate partner. And last, we have to empower mothers. When mothers are educated and empowered to make choices in their lives, they will enable their daughters to go to school. So, this is all for today. Thank you for listening to us and see you next time.